6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Dhulmin Samarasinghe and read by Indrani Senanayake. Headlines. Health authorities say COVID control activities are conducted according to scientific principles. 25 senior army officers appointed to coordinate the COVID-19 control operations. An island-wide program to rescue rural poor people from the microfinance debt trap commences tomorrow. In sports news, Australia versus India. Natarajan replaces injured Umesh Yadav. In foreign news, new era dawns for the UK as it completes separation from the European Union. Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath says that COVID control activities are conducted according to scientific principles. During a media briefing at the Health Promotion Bureau today, he said that they will never work based on myths. Dr. Herath said that they would pay attention to safety and productivity of the corona vaccine before it is brought down into the country. Expressing his views at the media briefing, Director of the Health Promotion Bureau, Dr. Palitha Karunaprema said that they are taking several measures to get the corona vaccine. He said that the Health Ministry has paid its attention to new methodologies for COVID control. He said that there are sufficient facilities at hospitals for corona patients and medical equipment has been provided to hospital staff. Professor Nilika Malavige of the Sri Jayawardhanapura University said that the new COVID variant found in the UK and South Africa is spreading 50% faster than the previous one. She said that they are conducting tests of the new virus variant once a week or twice a week. She said that scientific research is conducted on Ayurveda medicine. Professor Malavige pointed out that health productive measures should be strictly followed to prevent the new virus variant. The Army media said 25 senior Army officers have been appointed with effect from today to coordinate the COVID-19 control operations in each district. Appointments were made by the Presidential Secretariat on the recommendations of Army Commander General Shavendra Silva. General Shavendra Silva handed over letters of appointment for the 25 chief coordinating officers in all districts last morning. Accordingly, the new office of the chief coordinating officers would facilitate smooth conduct of district-wise quarantine centers, transportation of individuals for quarantine and treatment, supply of medicine, equipment, dry rations and other essentials, and all other technical requirements as and when deemed necessary. An island-wide program to rescue rural poor people from the microfinance debt trap will commence from Anuradhapura tomorrow. The Samurdri Development Department directs the program on the instructions of State Minister Shehan Semasinghe. The program is in connection with will be held tomorrow morning at the Salipura Samurdri Bank under the patronage of State Minister Shehan Semasinghe. 54 Samurdri banks in the Anuradhapura district will conduct programs tomorrow and the day after to educate the public regarding this matter. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, on the recommendation of Army Commander General Shavendra Silva, has promoted 5 more senior brigadiers to the rank of Major General. Brigadiers Manoj Lamaheva, Ajit Disanayake, Dhammi Hevage, Manjula Karunaratne and Lal Chandrasiri were thus promoted. Meanwhile, at the turn of the new year, 2021, General Shavendra Silva, who is also the Colonel of the Regiment of the Special Forces, made history in the Special Forces Regiment by promoting a record 560 other ranks to their next rank to coincide with the 24th anniversary of the Special Forces on the 1st of January 2021. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa engaged in religious rituals at the Katharagama in connection with the new year. The Prime Minister worshipped at the Katharagama Kirivehera last evening and thereafter called on the Chief Prelate of the Kirivehera, the Venerable Dr. Kobbava Dhaminda Thera. After paying homage at the Katharagama Asatapala Bodhiya, the Prime Minister engaged in religious observances at the Katharagama Abhinavarama Temple. The Prime Minister also visited Chief Sanganayaka of the Ruhuna Mahagampatwa and Chief Monk of the Katharagama Abhinavaramaya, the Venerable Kapugama Saranathissa Thera. With the dawn of the new year, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa took part in religious practices at the Ruhunu Katharagama Mahadevalaya. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Sudath Samaravira says that the COVID-19 vaccine jabs are expected to be provided to 20% of Sri Lankans in the first half of this year. Addressing a press conference held today, he said people around the world can be hopeful about the COVID-19 vaccine this year. Dr. Samaravira added that the World Health Organization has promised to provide vaccines for 20% of the Sri Lankan population through COVAX, which is a global initiative aimed at working with vaccine manufacturers to provide countries worldwide equitable access to safe and effective vaccines, once licensed and approved. That was the main news story. Next is Watchlight.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
A look at Watchlight. The Sri Lanka Ports Authority has been declared an essential service. An extraordinary Gazette notification in this regard has been issued by the Secretary to the Head of State, P.B. Jayasundara. Accordingly, any service provided by the Ports Authority, any work or labour contribution, is now designated as an essential service. That was Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow. We take a look at the headlines. A new era dawns for the UK as it completes separation from the European Union. Bangkok is to close schools for 2 weeks as the number of COVID-19 cases rise. Adobe Flash Player is finally laid to rest. A new era has begun for the United Kingdom after it completed its formal separation from the European Union. The UK stopped following EU rules as replacement arrangements for travel, trade, immigration and security cooperation came into force. Boris Johnson said the UK has freedom in their hands and the ability to do things differently and better now that the long Brexit process was over. But opponents of leaving the UA maintain the country will be worse off. The Thai capital of Bangkok will close all schools for 2 weeks after the New Year holidays as it tightens measures to control a new wave of the coronavirus pandemic. Thailand confirms 279 new coronavirus cases today, with the majority of them linked to a cluster among migrant workers at the Samut Sakhon province, south of Bangkok. Another cluster linked to illegal gambling dens that started in the eastern province of Rangyong. Adobe Flash Player, the browser plugin that brought rich animations and interactivity to the early web, has officially reached the end of its life. Released in 1996, Flash was once one of the most popular ways for people to stream videos and play games online, but it was plagued with security problems and failed to transition to the smartphone era. Adobe will no longer offer security updates for Flash and has urged people to uninstall it. It will also stop videos and animations running in its Flash player from the 12th of January. To end this bulletin of world news, we take a look at the headlines once again. New era dawns for the UK as it completes separation from the European Union. Bangkok is to close schools for 2 weeks as the number of COVID-19 cases rise. Adobe Flash Player is finally laid to rest. That ends this bulletin of world news. Next, we take a look at development news. The central bank said the Sri Lankan Prosperity Index increased to 0.802 in 2019 from 0.811 in 2018, driven by improvements in the well-being of the people sub-index, which has offset marginal declines in economy and business climate and socio-economic infrastructure sub-indices. In 2019, well-being of the people sub-index rose to 0.688 from 0.554 in 2018, mainly due to the improvements in the aspects of the quality of education, health facilitation, and the wealth of the people. That was a look at development news. Next, we have sports news. Cricket. India has added left-arm bowler T. Natarajan to their squad for the final 2 tests against Australia, with seamer Umesh Yadav ruled out through injury. Yadav will miss the rest of the series with a calf strain he suffered on day 3 of the second test. Natarajan made his 2020 and one-day international debuts against Australia in December, but has not played a test. The third test begins on the 6th of January, with the series level at 1-1. Basketball. Devin Booker scored 25 points and made 7 assists in his Phoenix Suns. They beat the Utah Jazz and moved to 4-1 for the first time since 2009. Teammates Jay Crowder and Michael Bridges had 16 points each in a 106-95 win in the Western Conference. Elsewhere, the Houston Rockets earned their first victory of the season, with James Harden netting 33 points in a 122-119 win over the Sacramento Kings. John Wall added 22 points to his first game after a 2-year injury layoff. That was a look at sports news, and next we have business news. Sri Lanka Telecom and Mobitel unveiled their unified brand identity today at the Telecom headquarters. The unification of products and services were symbolically launched at the event that took place with the participation of Sri Lanka Telecom Chairman Lalit Seniviratne, Group Chief Executive Officer Kirti Pereira, Chief Executive Officer Sri Lanka Telecom Chandika Vitharana, Acting CEO of Mobitel, and other key officials of the Sri Lanka Telecom Group. The unification will be an impetus to the government effort to create a technology-driven economy and a technology-based society, with SLT Mobitel contributing immensely towards the digitalization of Sri Lanka. Well, that was a look at business news. Next, we have economic news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On to economic news. The New York Stock Exchange said it will delist 3 Chinese telecommunications firms based on claimed links with its military. China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicom Hong Kong have all been targeted by the Trump administration. Shares in the telecom giants will be suspended on the NYSE next week, while proceedings to delist them have begun. The companies earn all of their revenue in China and have no significant presence in the US. That was economic news. Finally, we take a look at the weather report.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
It will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
We take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the northern, eastern, north central and Nuwara provinces and in the Hambantota, Nuwara Eliya and Matale districts. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimetres, can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Galle and Matara districts. That was a look at the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, 6:15 news, we look at the headlines again. Health authorities say COVID control activities are conducted according to scientific principles. 25 senior army officers appointed to coordinate the COVID-19 control operations. An island-wide program to rescue rural poor people from the microfinance debt trap commences tomorrow. And in sports news, we had Australia versus India. T. Natarajan replaces injured Umesh Yadav. And in foreign news, new era dawns for the UK as it completes separation from the European Union. That ends this news broadcast.